Here we go. I forgot to deal with that. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Okay, we said we're gonna take notes during the reading to be more active because it's so brutal sometimes to stay focused. Um, um, all right. Here's one interesting fact about the concept of a null reference and errors associated with it. Not unique for Java, but in 2009, Tony Hoare, British computer scientist who invented the concept of null reference, described it as the $1 billion mistake. Probably 1 trillion at this point. Since string is a regular reference type, its variables can be null. If we invoke a method or apply an operation to such a variable, reference types can be null okay. An uninitialized string is created and then the method length is invoked. The code throws an NPE because the object's some string. Yeah, any reference type. Comparing strings. Very common situation occurs when we try to compare a string variable and a string literal. It throws because an NPE. To avoid NPE here, you can use Yoda notation. Oh, that's actually pretty funny. Yoda notation. That's... I wonder, can I do that in JavaScript? Parent. I don't want the parent. Just hold on. I want to just see. I actually don't know. Testing dot length. Oh, am I an idiot? Yes. How do I? Oh, here it is. 7. Yeah, so Yoda notation is not unique to Java. Sorry, there's a fly. Interesting. When the constant is used before the check. To avoid an NPE, but what if we have two variables of the type string? Any of them may happen to be null. In this case, we can use special auxiliary class Java util objects. The approach is recommended in modern Java programming since it is easy to read and does not throw an NPE. No NPE here. When working with reference types, use guard statements, prevent NPEs. Integer and I plus plus I guess here we can do if less than 1. Okay, I don't understand. Is it going to give me a null pointer? Can I not return early? I just wrote JavaScript basically. Oh, interesting. It's a weird problem for null pointers. wonder, can I do string dot concat? Yeah. What does it return? Let's see. Compilation error. Plague me till I'm freaking. Oh, what I can do. Or is it just like this? Why is that telling me I can't do that? Oh, you can't pass it two different things? I don't know how this concat thing works. Can I chain it? Oh, because it didn't. Interesting. Oh, and you can't pass. I see. What is this doing, bro? Do you see this? Let's see. Right now we're in here. So if string 1 is empty and string 2 are empty. Oh my god, I hate these. Ugh. Oh my god, what? Ugh, I forgot. My semicolon. No way, dude. What do you want from me? Oh, you can't even call that. Can I do is null? Can I do? No, you can't. You literally can't use it, right? The method doesn't exist. Oops. look at this. They have a little thing in here. Oops. Do not change the code above. It's like, okay. String equals null. Then, what does it want? All right. Suppose you have two string variables, city and capital. Select the line that may throw NPE. This might. I hate that this doesn't update until. Show me my streak, bro. Operating system is a set of software that manages the communication between all other applications and hardware. It turns a computer. Manages the communication. There are many operating systems for personal computers. The most popular ones are Microsoft Windows, Mac OS. The two top mobile operating systems are Android and iOS. Even smart kettles and fridges have their own. Every Of course, operating systems for such a range of devices are extremely diverse. What they have in common are the means they provide to programs. On one hand, it's only an illusion that your favorite browser is the same on Windows as it is on macOS. On the other hand, you can run the same application on different computers with the same OS. It's all an illusion. Things only look similar because of OS. Functions. An operating system controls the communication between the computer, software, and hardware. An OS can give programs restricted access to controlling hardware. You can run a browser, a media player, and 10 other applications, and your OS is the one that allocates all the resources the application needs to run properly. At the same time, though, an OS acts as a fair referee and doesn't allow any application to use more resource than it actually needs. As a mediator between the applications and hardware, an OS allows us to communicate with the device without going into details about its specific mechanics. It abstracts the communication between user and device. Human user. Application, software, operating system, other system, hardware. Any operating system. OS components. The kernel. Hello, kernel. When you start an OS, you often see the GUI. Kernel. When you start an OS, you often see GUIs. There are two types of kernels, monolithic and microkernels. Wow. Extends to the kernel too. Monolithic drives a ton of OS functionality. Monolithic kernel. Micro kernel. A small set, but can be extended with drivers. User space, application libraries, hardware processor. An operating system efficiently distributes the resources of the computer. Without an operating system, it would not be possible to use the computer. Now that you know about the main functions of operating systems and their essential elements, let's test what you've learned so far. What are the interfaces that allow users to interact with the device? Select one or more options from the list. Graphical user interface, OS process management, user space what? What are the interfaces that allow users to interact with GUI, command line. What is the main focus function? Can I read? My OS, am I right? Oh. What is the main function of an OS? It supplies power to all. No. It secures access to user data. No. It performs all the arithmetic. No. It controls the communication. Find the correct definitions. Monolithic kernel. Most of the OS functions. Smaller. What the CLI command line interface? What? Kernel. Yeah, I ain't doing that. What? Didn't I? All right. While working on the computer, you need to communicate with the OS to get things done. For example, if you want to open a file, you have to tell the operating system about it. There are two ways you... Both are important. These two methods are the command line interface. What is the command line? The command line interface, or CLI, is a way to interact with the OS via text command. On the other hand, the graphical unit provides an interface with icons and menus. Here, you have commands to the operating system by clicking on these icons or menu items. In the past, command line interfaces were the only means of interacting with a computer, but why use it now when you have a simple sorry, I'm distracted. On the other hand, there's nothing to write about that. It's just saying what it said above. Why use it now when you have simple, familiar graphical interface? Well, generally, command line interface are much more flexible and have more options. For example, you can combine commands to create a new one. Well, you cannot do that via graphical user interface. Some software can even have only a command line interface, thus requiring its users. It's a CLI, flexible way to communicate with OS. Besides programs executable by the command line interface can be written in a command language. They're called shell scripts. And batch files. You can write scripts in bash or something for Windows. All operating systems have command line interfaces. Applications may have it as well. Also, modern programming languages provide an interactive command line mode in which you execute code line by line. Accessing command line interpreter. Usually you don't have to go to the location of the command line interpreter or terminal to open it. If you feel if you feel more like an explorer and want to find the location on your own, then try the following paths. I'm not doing this. When you open it, if anyone is watching this, spotlight, bam, terminal, done. When you open it, you'll see a black or white window. If everything is okay, you'll see the command prompt. Begin typing, an indicator. To execute a command, type it, press enter. Learning commands. It's time to learn some important commands. Let's open the command line interpreter and type some basic commands. Imagine you just woke up on the floor in a room unfamiliar to you. In fact, everything is unfamiliar to you. You don't remember anything, not even your name. There's only a computer with an open terminal in this guide, so you decide how to figure some things out. So now you will type your command. First, type "Who am I?" and press enter. Unfortunately, it won't provide you with a deep and satisfying answer about who you really are, but you will see something like this. I'm not gonna do this because I don't want to do too much here. Good, now you know your name, an imaginary one at least. As you could already guess, the "Who am I" command just returns the username you used on your machine. That's why you see the above output. Next, type dir or ls to show all the files. -a, conclusion. Okay, let's just get a move on here. Command terminal. How do you print hello world? Echo. Working with files and directories. You got a job interview. To display the username, "Who am I?" List of non-hidden files. To view all files. What was it? Print dir or something? It's something dir. I know two of these are right. I can't remember the file one. It's this one. Cool. I don't think that was necessarily helpful. 10 minutes left. I'll try and get one more done. to. Okay, we hope that you already know how to open the command line interpreter and run some basic commands. Now let's take a step further and learn how to expand the functionality of the command and how to get more information about them. Wow, it's going to teach you how to read the manual? That's actually pretty decent. Sometimes using just one command is not enough. Let's look at the command mkdir, which is used to create a new folder in the current directory. If you try to use it as is, you will get an error. The terminal needs to know how to name a new folder. There's where parameters. That's where a parameter is something additional information. Now type the command mkdir with parameter papers. So let's go terminal. Let's go, let's see, cd desktop. So I can easily delete this in the end. Go here, mkdir, papers, ls, allow, nice, papers, here we go. Student directory. All examples in this topic are for Windows. Commands are relevant. And now let's change our location and go to the folder you just created. CD. To go out. CD slash. I think here it's CD dot. CD slash. Options. If you Google anything about commands in a terminal, you'll encounter the term options. Is it man mkdir? Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's keep moving here. So much for taking notes. Change your directory to any other than the root directory and run it on your terminal. Whoa, this is crazy. Is this? Oh no, this is easy. I guess people are just, I'm surprised. If a command line interface, options are typically preceded by hyphen? Yeah. Run the command who am I, username of the current user. Oh, this seems like a lot. Maybe this is a good place to stop. There's 3 minutes left. What did I learn today about null pointers, null pointer exception? Oh yeah, the Yoda notation. Sorry, I just don't want to start another section with 3 minutes. It was 4 minutes, but I just don't want to sit here anymore, but I'm going to until that timer goes off. The notation is when constants is used before the check. Yeah, thought that was an interesting name. I probably won't forget that. The object, I wonder if like, does JavaScript have that? Would it matter? Strings aren't reference types, so it actually doesn't matter. It checks the absolute value. When working with reference, use guard statements, right? That was all the coding we did. That's right, operating systems. It's an illusion. So different functions performed by the OS. Null is a mandatory part of the OS and is probably the first program started on the computer always. GUIs are oh yeah, monolithic kernels and microkernels. I feel like monolithic is probably Mac, and then this is probably Windows. Because I remember like printers, right? You have to install drivers for printers. At least I used to. I haven't owned a printer and who uses paper anymore? CLIs, yeah, running programs on my computer. Okay. Okay, there's a minute left. I think that's good. One thing I'm thinking about is how far do I go with Java versus starting Kotlin. So at work we have Kotlin. So I need to, I felt like maybe this was stupid. I needed to start, so I just started. Maybe it was a stupid idea. Maybe I should research how much overlap is there between Java and Kotlin. The way I understand it is Kotlin's a superset of Java or something, or a subset. I can't remember. But maybe I'm going to research that. And honestly, if people are like, you don't need to know any Java to learn Kotlin, in fact, it's better if you don't, then I might switch to Kotlin. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going with this. Let's see. I would probably, jeez, it scares me every time, dude. I'd probably keep going with this until I finish this project. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's do some research on it and then decide. Anyway, thanks.